Alright, so some feedback on the first couple riffs in Yonder Wall. General concept, most important one, is that we're trying to keep your hand available to you. People refer to pentatonic playing often as like boxes because it's like, this side, that side, this side, that side of, this shape where there's a very clear middle. So we want you to be getting more in a position where your index finger's ready for all kinds of stuff when you're working on this side of it. And when you're on your ring finger, that you're not picking up your first finger, So neither this thing that's happening where you go to your first finger and your hand ends up more down there, or when you go to your ring finger and you end up kind of like this, which all goes back to a time when, you were using different fundamentals, so you probably literally had to do those things to get a bend in like classical position or whatever you were doing. So that's the general theme that goes throughout everything that we worked on today. Economy of motion, and really paying attention to the nuance of what the guy's doing and trying to make it sound like him. So we have and there's our right hand dampen, and there's another one. We want so it's just. And then we get. So for the first part of that, we want that to sound like long tones, nice and lyrical, not like, but like long tones. And then this part, as opposed to going, we want the exact opposite, staccato. So long tones, choppy. I remember doing the same stuff where I'd be like, oh, I'll just put my finger here, and that totally works, but it's not. And we're trying to articulate it like single notes. So there's the first bit. And then the only actual correction I had was that then we end up going an index finger bend. It's not whatever you were doing with the slide there. After we transition to pentatonic 2, where in this key it's really easy, like we talked about in the lesson, is just go 12th fret when you're playing in this key with your index finger, where we have all this big identifiable dots and so forth. And that's a cool thing about playing in C sharp minor, E major pentatonic, is that it's very easy to visualize with the dot right there, for your ring finger notes and up in front of it. So now we're in pentatonic 2, starting with, instead of like, or whatever you were doing, it's like a slow index finger bend, and trying to keep your rest of your hands available to you again. And then we've got, and then we want it to sound long tones again. And there's a right hand dampen, and then not like we want it, lyrical, which all comes down to the not seesawing thing. And this is a small detail. You were pretty much playing that right. So we had the section. Now we get to the. And this was, so yeah, we start with 3 regular musical notes with no bends or anything, just going. And then we have a bend that we have to cut off. So, just try doing that some and making it sound, like long tones. So, and then just try to get to the next note, still sounding like nice long tones. So, and you can allow yourself a pause there if you need, or you can zoom in on, as in, working on the transition between and the regular note there. So again, we have to right hand dampen. So there we are. We were just like regular musical note. You were tempted to like bend prematurely a little bit there. Cool. And then we have, so that's another bend where we have to not hear the, but just, and then the index finger bend, we want it to sound like ba-da-dum, which means that you're going to chill, then move. It was really tripping you out a little bit to just wait until you had ba-da-dum. Ba-da-dum, and then the whole entire first part, you're just going. So yeah, just, and now mindful of your the rest of your hand being available to you. So yeah, not, or whatever. It's, you know, so there we are. So just really listen for the timing there. And then you said you had some trouble reading the tab here, but I think it's actually probably exactly on the page. It says pentatonic 1, 12 to 9 pull off, 12 to 9 pull off. So this is us just going down the scale. And it looks like you threw in some extra stuff. So yeah, it's just, and then, so that's where we got to. Which brings us to the conversation we had about pentatonic 2, these 4 notes. You know, ignoring the third string note, just these 4 notes being the same as in the main box. So all of your is going to work there. And anything that you ever played here is there. And it is just an octave up. It is totally the same notes. So there you go. And I will see you Saturday next on the 6th at 3. Have a good one.